what I've always feared. And I think that fear has to do with the fact I tend to forget the little things in life. That's just a joke, by the way. I have a massive penis. It's huge. It's the biggest one ever. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of luck with the ladies. That's why I jerked off all the time. And one of the reasons was because I ran track, and people aren't impressed when you run track. No one's like impressed with your skill. I was pretty good at it, but no one really cared. Like with other sports, when you're good, people care. Like you could be like, oh, today basketball practice, I dunked a basketball, and people would be like, wow, dude, you dunked a basketball, that's crazy. And another guy could be like, oh, today at football practice, I bench pressed 300 pounds, and be like, wow, that's cool. But for me, I'd be like, hey guys, I ran 13 miles today, and they'd be like, what? Why? Was it for charity? No, it's just what I do for fun. I run. It's like, okay, Peter, well, we're gonna go get laid, have fun running in circles. So that's what I did. I ran in circles while my friends were getting laid. I was actually really good at running, but I'm not anymore. I'm actually really out of shape. Like at one point in my life, I could run 2 miles in 9 minutes and 23 seconds. I know. Today, that's how long it took me to put on 2 pairs of socks. So I need to get back in shape. But yeah, I didn't have luck with the ladies, and I got my first girlfriend in college. And it came with a little bit of a learning curve, especially since she was Jewish. And that's not a joke, she's actually Jewish. And it came with a bit of a learning curve. Like here's an example. Like if it's your Jewish girlfriend's Jewish dad's birthday, don't get him the box set of Lethal Weapon on DVD. Mel Gibson is the star of all of those movies. And don't try to redeem yourself by saying, I got it on sale. That's gonna make it worse. Another thing I learned from having a girlfriend was that the excuse, I swear this has never happened to me before, only works once. Before she realizes this happens before. What I'm trying to say is I have a little problem with premature ejaculation. Get over it. It's due to my talent, I figured out when I was 12. But when I had a girlfriend, I wanted to make it better. Like, I've never been on the receiving end of premature ejaculation, but I'm sure it's something like when you go to sit down on an automatic toilet and it just flushes before you get started. You're just like, oh! Guess we're done here. Don't worry, I came too. So yeah, I googled like ways to make it better, like ways to last longer. One of the ways I read was to think about other things, and one of the main things they mentioned is baseball. They tell you to think about baseball, and I guess baseball is like the least arousing sport, and that's what I did, and it worked. It worked, but see, the thing is, I have ADD, so sometimes my mind wanders. So like one time I was doing sex, and not to her. Not to you. Yeah, this is. Well, I moved to this chair with no one there to make it less awkward for you. Okay, and so I was feeling a little soon, and I was like, oh, this is not good. So I started thinking about baseball. I was like, baseball, 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 baseball. And then the ADD kicked in. I was like, baseball, 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 Barry Bonds, Jackie Robinson, segregation in America, Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther King, racism America, racism America, Donald Sterling! like feared I would say someone's name during thrusts of passion. I never thought that name would be a very old, very racist man. There's no way to come back from that. It was difficult. But yeah, the Donald. That was in the news this summer. Donald Sterling. That was a pretty crazy news story. Other things in the news. What else happened this summer? The Ice Bucket Challenge. You ever do the Ice Bucket? Yeah, Ice Bucket Challenge. What I found funny about the Ice Bucket Challenge was anyone who did the Ice Bucket Challenge was basically saying, "Yeah, no, I'm not gonna donate." Also, people with ALS, look at all the things I can do with my arms. That's what people did. You know, I think we probably should have been dumping buckets of ice on our head for Coney 2012. We probably would have found him by now. We haven't found him yet. Just giving you a little FYI. What else happened? The World Cup. The World Cup was recent when I wrote this joke. A day after the World Cup, I wrote an article in the Washington Post. It was titled, "World Cup, Slam Dunk." I could just see the copywriter just the night before, like, what's something good that happens in soccer? Fuck it, we're going with basketball. Another thing I went to a strip club for the first time. Yeah. Actually, it was my second time, but I don't count my first time. My first time, I was 18 and in Puerto Rico, and I was with my brother, and we met some people at like a bar, and we were like, let's go to a strip club. And we went to a strip club, and Remember how we went to the Bacardi factory and me and DJ were gagging the whole time? That's why. We were hungover. So what happened was basically, we were really drunk at the hotel bar, and we all decided to go to a strip club, and we got in the cab, and then we realized we didn't know where any strip clubs were, so we asked the Puerto Rican cab driver to take us to his favorite strip club, and a Puerto Rican cab driver took us to his favorite strip club. And it was terrifying. Girls were walking up to me trying to let them give me lap dances, and I didn't have any money, but I also couldn't tell them because I didn't speak any Spanish, and they didn't speak any English, because speaking English isn't like a requirement of strippers that work at a strip club that Puerto Rican cab drivers frequent. So it was a terrifying experience, and so I don't count it. But I went to a strip club this summer, and it was fun. I would realize, I think at like an amusement park there should be like a theme ride for a strip club, like a strip club theme ride. Because it wouldn't be that different from a strip club. You know, they go through the whole thing, like keep your hands inside the vehicle the whole time. You know, you get in the machine, they put a bar down to cover your boner. You hope you sit next to your friend, and you might end up sitting next to someone you don't know, and it's awkward. And if you're sitting alone, you look like a weirdo. And then you can go through the ride and whatever, and there could be like those photos they take of you when you're on a ride. You know how like on a roller coaster they take it when you drop down a steep incline and they flash a picture. Except in this ride it'd be like when the stripper's panties drop and you're just like. And you'll finish the ride and you get to the end and you'll see the pictures flashing across the screen. And you'll be like, please Dad, can I get one? Only if you don't tell your mother we were here. We can call it something like eruption. Coming soon. So yeah, that was my summer. Two big things happened to me at the end of the summer when the school year started. I started smoking a lot of pot. And my girlfriend and I broke up. I don't know if the two are directly related. I don't know if one caused the other. But my girlfriend and I got in a big argument once, and during the argument, she said to me, "Peter, you ruin everything." I was like, wow, that's a lot of things. In fact, that is all the things. It's like, wow, this is heavy. I have to leave. I walked out of the room. I needed to compose myself. And my roommates were in the living room, and they were smoking weed. And they were like, "Peter, do you want to smoke weed?" And I was like, yeah. And like, here's the thing, I'm not good at smoking weed. Like, I am really, really bad. Like, let me give you an example. I'll give you an example about how, I was smoking weed with some friends, and I started coughing a lot, and my friend was like, "Yo, dude, do you want me to get you some water?" And I thought about it for a moment, and I was like, "Dude, that would be amazing." And he looked at me, he's like, "Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?" I was like, "You asked me if I wanted water." And he was like, "Yeah, 20 minutes ago." Another story, I was smoking weed with some people, and I realized I had to take a shit, and I didn't want to tell them I had to take a shit because I thought they were going to make fun of me or something. So I was like, "I'll be right back," and I got up and I walked across the hall to my apartment and started taking a shit. And I was on my phone, and after a while I realized, holy shit, I've been here for so long, they're going to know that I was taking a shit. They're going to make fun of me. I had to cover my tracks. So I stopped taking a shit, I get up, and I was like, what am I going to do? Oh, I just tell them I took a shower. It's easy. So I start washing my hands, I look in the mirror, I'm like, wait a second, I'm not wet. They're going to know I wasn't taking a shower. I was like, aha, I'll just actually take a shower. So I hopped into the shower. And when I'm in the shower, I'm just like, I should probably text them to let them know that I'm taking a shower. So I pulled my phone out of my pocket. That's when I realized, in order to avoid my friends making fun of me for taking a shit, I had hopped into the shower with my clothes on. So I felt embarrassed, and I went back, and it got changed. I went back over to the apartment. Turns out I had only been gone for 5 minutes. Yeah, a lot of shit happened in that 5 minutes. So, moral of the story, I'm not good at smoking pot, and I just smoked pot in the middle of an argument with my girlfriend. And I walk into the room, giggling, and they say laughter is contagious. And if this is true, then angry girlfriends have been vaccinated. She was not laughing, and we ended up breaking up, and it was tough. I went through the whole I'm sad thing. I watched a lot of TV. Some of the things I watched. Has anyone here seen? I didn't know I was pregnant. I watched a lot of that. Yeah. The title of the show gives away the ending for every single episode. It's like, what happened in that episode? Oh, she didn't know she was pregnant. It was crazy. But basically, let me give you the plot of that show. Basically, what happens is there's this fat woman, and she goes to take a shit, and a baby comes out. That's what happens every single episode. I think it would be funny if there was a comedy version of that show called I Thought I Was Pregnant. Basically, it's just fat girls going to get an ultrasound. And they're the doctor's giving her an ultrasound, and the woman's like, "What's it gonna be, doc?" And the doctor's looking at the screen, just diabetes. Yeah, you see that? That's not a fetus. That's a Snickers bar. And all that white stuff, that's ranch dressing.